the tomato processing project continues, and we are gonna get sourdough loaf bread, like sandwich loaf bread going. Excuse me, I'm gonna scratch my nose on my wrist. So I'm gonna feed my tub of sourdough starter and let that get sitting out for the sourdough adventures that are gonna continue. Plus, if you can hear me, all the other food projects we are swinging and dancing through this week. Oh yes, whole lot's happening. Buckle up.
Thank you to Hungry Root for sponsoring today's video. The first 100 people to use my code Jamerrill40 will get 40% off their first grocery order with Hungry Root. Use the link in the description below or scan the QR code and use code Jamerrill40 to get 40% off. So here I am working on feeding my sourdough starter again. I have some hopeful plans, as always. Start of a new week always starts with hopeful plans of the sourdough starter. But hey, the week before we made 8 homemade loaves of sourdough bread, and my folks, super sourdough fans, did not even get any in the freezer. Those are my little bread baskets there, still from drying whenever I rinse them off, but we are going to put those to good use in the future as well. And now I am just tidying up again. Alrighty, so we are doing some sheet pan steaks tonight. Also, we're packing up, just getting in the fridge some of these beautiful sourdough loaves. I think they ate 2 of them today. Other evidence that the sourdough has been enjoyed, and also there's some that they already sliced down. Good morning, good morning. This is some sourdough that we are slicing into for some breakfast options this morning. And we are toasting 2 slices of sourdough, and then they're picking whether they want the home canned jam or peanut butter or regular butter or what other toppings they can come up with. Alrighty, so this morning I want to get some more meat stock basically going in my slow cooker here. And I know with this full cow that we recently picked up, I have a lot of, well, I have the oxtail too, and there's several cuts that were called like soup bones. Okay, so I'm gonna look for those. Of course, we have wonderful roast. I'm going to also pull out a roast tonight. This is one of them. The beef crisp cut shank. I think that's those leg bones because you see those, the marrow there. Okay, so we got that. So I have, this is a 3.18 pound shoulder roast and then a 3.43 chuck roast. So not sure which way I'm going to swing it. I could do these both today and then we heat leftovers through for tomorrow. Sorry, I'm on to talking about dinner already, or I might just play it straight and do one today with vegetables and side items and then do another one fresh tomorrow. Anyway, I'm getting these upstairs. These are the soup bone pieces I was showing you about. These are just like lower pieces of the leg pretty much. I loved recently going through and doing that meat stock with the oxtail, and I did the 10-quart slow cooker and I had that for several days for my elimination diet. It was wonderful. I do have an oxtail and now I kind of feel like, oh, I should hold on to that oxtail. Not like, I guess I could call the farm and get some other oxtails ordered. I want to try doing the same. It should be just as good and fantastic with all these other soup bone cuts that I have. Let's go. But I think I'm going to do it this go round just with this 2.26 pound package, but I do have several of these smaller ones, so if I was doing those I would do probably both of these in my 10-quart slow cooker. And we're gonna take up a dozen peanut butter and jellies from the freezer, and somebody will eat these this afternoon or tomorrow, but hey, look, we meal prep. Alrighty, so we have the remnants of, sorry, I'm scooching my little foot pad over here with my socks this morning. We have the remnants of the 2 chickens that I roasted the other night. In here, there's obviously still a good bit of meat that can be picked off the sides. and then underneath and such. And I cooked it with, we roasted some carrots and some celery, and there's some onion slices in here. So what I want to do today is, again, we'll pick down a decent portion of the meat. I mean, it might be more for, like, you know, little toddler meat pickings for the day. But I want to get the carcasses and these vegetables covered with water and cook it down. So what I'd like to do to make this stock is use this 30-quart stock pot. This Dutch oven is it's somewhere between 13 and 16 quarts. I think it's 16 quarts. Anyway, we can just make more in the 30 quart. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm working through picking off all the little scraps of meat that I can. And again, that will be for just some lunchtime. Hey, you want some chicken choices? No one at my house minds having some shredded chicken. So just trying to get the last usable pieces off of these carcasses. I do not mind, obviously, meat on the bones and letting those cook down with the broth as well. Just a mama trying to get a few more servings out of these 2 chickens and make some good lunchtime choices available. And then we will get the chicken carcasses and the vegetables that are left going in the big 30-quart stock pot, and we will let that simmer for several hours while I run around doing my other things. Alrighty, so here is what we have left. And like I said, I'm going to get this into my 30-quart stock pot now, and we'll get it covered with water, and we'll let it go for several hours today. So I'm just using my hands to get all the pieces in there. We got lots of good jiggly pieces left from the chicken, which will be fantastic to make our jiggly broth. And I'm using that pot filler that I love oh so much. And I'm going to get everything just nice and full in there and let it do its homemade broth thing. This is great to can to have chicken broth available. Also, I've just been using it to drink as something nutritious for my body and for other bodies, and have it in the refrigerator on hand as well. It'll just be a meat stock sort of day. Then I will definitely eat the meat that's cooked off of these shank pieces as well. And so I got those soup bone pieces covered with water going in my 10-quart Hamilton Beach slow cooker there, which I will also link for you guys. I just love those 10-quart slow cookers. That's my second one. I got my first one. I don't know if it was at my farmhouse or my forest house, but this is my second one because I got several years out of my first one. Okay, so I just put the 3.80 beef shoulder roast in the slow cooker. I'm gonna let that go on low. At some point, I'll put some seasonings and throw some other things in there, but I'm at least getting that done. And then we have the 10-quart slow cooker going with those random beef pieces, and I filled it to the top, 10 quarts of water, so that's gonna make a very nice meat broth. For me, obviously anyone can have the meat broth who would like it. I've got a beef chuck roast, 3.43 pounds. I'm gonna put in the refrigerator, and I'll do this with some various sides tomorrow night. And then we have the 30-quart stock pot going, doing our chicken stock, and that's gonna be for a lot of upcoming adventures too. I do have my sourdough starter still out that we fed yesterday, and I wanna get some things going today for some adventures in sourdough. And I'm thinking about, with dinner tonight, I do have a bag of the wild rice. We will cook this using the broth that is made naturally from the roast cooking all day. And then I also have 2 jars here of organic sliced mangoes, so we'll probably have these for dinner too. And I do have 2 squash and 2 zucchini here judging me. I don't think I'm gonna get to those today, but let's get the sourdough starter fed. I'm gonna turn the fan on for this and babysit it some while also working to get outside and get some movement in. Thank you to Hungry Root for sponsoring today's video. The first 100 people to use my code Jamerrill40 will get 40% off their first grocery order with Hungry Root. Use the link in the description below or scan the QR code and use code Jamerrill40 to get 40% off. Hungry Root is an easy way to eat healthy that takes a lot of the thinking out for you, which is super helpful. Hungry Root sends you fresh, high-quality groceries, simple, delicious recipes, and essential supplements. It's like having someone do all the planning and shopping so you don't even have to think about it. And I tell ya, there are times and seasons where that is very helpful. Hungry Root gets to know your personal health goals, dietary restrictions, favorite foods, and also how much time you want to spend cooking and more. Then they build you a personalized cart with all your grocery needs for the week, including easy 4-ingredient recipes to put those groceries to use. Each Hungry Root order is fully customizable, so you can take their suggestions or choose anything you want. They've got fresh produce, high-quality meat and seafood, healthy snacks, smoothies, and sweets. The first 100 people to use my code Jamerrill40 will get 40% off their first grocery order with Hungry Root. Use the link in the description below or scan the QR code and use code Jamerrill40 to get 40% off. Thanks again to Hungry Root for sponsoring today's video. Salt on everything, putting that on the roast. And then I'm also going to chop up these onions that need used up and toss them in. In with this roast, and then we'll go ahead and prep. Hey, look at us, we meal prep, right? We will prep the other two for adventures tomorrow. That sounds pretty good. So I came downstairs for some things and I decided to bring up what I have left of these home canned potatoes that we did last year. I don't think necessarily that I'm making them as a side item tonight. Could be that tomorrow in that 17-inch Lodge cast iron pan I fry up some of these potatoes. I like to do the fried potatoes, and it's been a couple months since I've done some fried potatoes. So at some point coming up this week with some meal somewhere, we will work on using up some more of these potatoes too. Alrighty, so here's what I collected. It looks like we've got about 24 jars of the potatoes, and so definitely over the next 2 weeks I'd like to just basically using these as side dishes for a couple dinners. We'll take care of that. They could also go along with breakfast. I could also do potato salad, but we'll see how deep those adventures go. And then I do have, there's the 24th jar of potatoes right there. I do have 4 jars of canned grass-fed ground beef left, and I have 2 jars of grass-fed stew meat, so I want to get those upstairs also so we can keep those in mind. And I just found, should be the last 2 of homegrown pork sausage in there, so I can do sausage gravy with that. My folks would really like that as well. Okay, so we're out here in the looks dead hopes and dreams garden, but we are just going to do, or I'm going to have done some things, such as we do have potatoes. I was just out here without my camera and pushed back the straw, and these are potatoes I planted season before last. And I showed in a tour earlier this year how my potatoes had reseeded themselves. And of course, they've died back. And of course, we have, just like life, we have the weeds and other adventures of life. But I have a family member this afternoon who's going to work on pulling back the straw that is here and getting what potatoes we can, because hey, we grew these potatoes, we can still use them. So I know there's potatoes here, I know there's potatoes there, I know there's potatoes in that wilderness. I don't know how far we'll get. And then I had done a large layer of straw out yonder there, and I did have a goat get into this area, but anyway, there's still there's potatoes coming up. So this family member is going to save me, haha. And again, as I love it, one of my YouTube viewers told me last year when everything blew up, if I can't get to it, the earth will take it back. And that's obviously what will happen in this situation. But I got someone with a free afternoon that wants to help. I'm going to let them help. Go through and play hide and seek, play peekaboo with the potatoes here and see what they can find, and we'll use those in coming weeks too. But we do still have beautiful things happening in this garden, like all of my lovely sunflowers that were so kind to reseed themselves. I mean, that one's like 12 foot tall. These are from the sunflowers we did last year, and we have, look at this, there's dahlias in here that we planted. So many dahlias over here, look at this. I did have a family member come and get a bouquet the other day. We got the dahlias in here. So we've definitely been doing things for pollinators this year, haha. We have our weeds, but then look at my beautiful sage. It's from here all the way down there. There's also, I see the leaves of strawberry plants we did last year too. So, you know, this year I just decided to work in my community garden and let this rest for a season. But I do like to visit, and so thank you for visiting with me today. Hello, beautiful sage. And we can't even see the house from this side of the garden. I do have folks playing with a garden hose over there. And then in here were many more dahlias that we did last year. And then we have some more volunteer sunflowers. So I have so much super mega life pressure beyond the looks of this garden. Maybe my life looks like this garden, I'm not sure. I'm finding the dahlias, I'm finding the sunflowers, I'm finding the bright spots, but for fun, we're going to capture those potatoes, and now I'm gonna go make my big stack of phone calls for this afternoon. Also dahlias that we planted from seed this year. The John Henry baskets are lovely, and then these sunflowers we did from seed. Alrighty, well here's our little baby harvest. I feel like this will be side items with one dinner. We'll do some sheet pan potatoes coming up. Alrighty, so the roast looks absolutely delicious. It had the big glob of bone marrow that came out of the bone there into the broth that it's made all day. And I just added 2 cups of wild rice. And I am just using some of our other meat broth that was going in the other slow cooker to add some more liquid to it. And we will just let that wild rice, I'm putting the roast on top. And we're just gonna let that cook under the roast for a little bit. Okay, working on getting back outside. I like to, as much as possible, when I have a lot of emails to do and a lot of phone calls and just sharing how I multitask, getting my steps in and such, I like to walk and work on getting my steps in and do as much business work and life, family management work that needs done while I'm also moving my body. So that continues this afternoon. And here's how things are looking right now. But again, underneath this, I didn't show pouring it in. There is wild rice under that. So, whoop, I'm gonna just let that continue. And that's dinner in the works. And then this big pot of stock, I turned this off a little bit ago, and I'm just letting it sit here for right now. I actually have a cup of it I'm going to work on drinking this afternoon. We'll strain it and such. But right now, I'm just letting it sit here and like it while I go do a few more things on my to-do list. Alrighty friends, I still don't have my run-in, but I'm so full of hope. I'm gonna go do that here in a minute. So we do have the organic sliced mangoes that we've had in the cabinet. This is the roast. Just because I am serving all ages and stages, I went ahead and chopped it. Mama chopped your meat for you. And then this is how the rice turned out that we made with the broth. Most folks will eat that too. I just didn't go as far as like mixing it all together. This way we got our meat, we got our rice, and if anyone wants some mango, we got that. So yay, happy dinner. Well, hello, another day, overflowing island, and I am making myself some farm eggs cooked in some tallow. This is gonna be my late lunch today. And yes, it's a different day, but I'm in the same shirt and hat as yesterday because that's life. But I didn't sleep in this. I took it off, I put it on again today because I had to work with my trainer lady and do all my little things today. And it's just easier. And hey, look, it's my minimalist wardrobe. And I also have, my new dryer is delivered today. We are working on that, and hopefully that means maybe by tomorrow, my new dishwashers will be here because I'm sure I told you already, that was just a life decision I had to make this week. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I just need them. Thank you. So we are doing it. I tell you, it is just, the end of this week is a super busy time. I had a lot of appointments out today. I have mammoth appointments tomorrow. The next day I have some more appointments in the morning. Yay. And then we are going camping for the weekend. The camping is a bright spot amongst all the appointments that have collided right now. And because this is such a high intensity week, I'm going to go outside right now. Other important life things that have happened. I had my gel nail polish removed from my fingers and toes. And I'm trying to go to like the gluten-free, chemical-free, this is a natural nail polish. This relates to this chicken I'm about to talk to. I said that. It relates to the chicken I'm about to talk to. I think I might talk to this chicken and I might talk to you about this chicken. But anyway, it relates to life and eliminating things and doing what I can. My plan right now is, when I'm done updating you with dinner and life, I'm gonna take this nail polish out. Now it's not quick dry and it's not gel. I'm used to going every 4 to 6 weeks and having the gel color put on because with cooking and washing a lot and all that, it's just held up well. But I have a lot of inflammation in my body, as you know, and no one told me to remove the gel nail polish. I'm just going down all the research rabbit holes, and I felt like going to a kinder nail polish is something I could do on my long list of things to do and try in life. All that to say, with the high intensity that is becoming the rest of this week, I'm going to go outside and get this nail polish on my nails while listening to an audiobook in the sunshine with my little folks, and then I'm going to read to them out loud for about an hour or so because that's my mama heart and that's what I love to do. And then I'll be back in here this evening to work through dinner and then several other filming projects for other videos I have going on. Tomorrow, we'll see. Flying by the seat of my pants, but my hair will look great. And then, like I say, Friday, we'll be shuffling along, going to the mountains to go camp. But even going camping is a fun, calming thing. It's good for the nervous system to be out in nature. It'll be good for us to have a simple 3 days away, focusing on food and hiking and simple times. It's all a gift. So back to dinner. You know, yesterday we did that grass-fed roast and the mangoes and the wild rice. And so there's a little bit of the wild rice left and only like maybe 2 portions of the beef. I do have another roast that we started to defrost yesterday. I'm just feeling like chicken, and on my way home today, we went to the John Henry General Store. I got a nice load of butternut squash and some other things. So yes, there's plenty of other things to use up at the house, but it was a nice fresh fruits and vegetable bulk haul that I've also recorded for you at John Henry. So I'm just kind of thinking, so based on what my body feels like and what I would like some chicken and maybe some butternut squash for dinner. I'm going to do some cold water defrost method on this chicken and get it cooking in the Dutch oven. Again, second time this week I have done this. Tomorrow I will throw that next roast in the slow cooker, and these are just my easy freezer meal kind of right now. Next week I hope to take several cooking times and do some marinades and do some easy freezer meals, do some breakfast freezer meals, do some other options, not just for me but for my family folks. But right now we at least have all of these ingredients, so we're gonna do some more chicken tonight. And because tomorrow will be a busy day, I have a potato and egg bake, and these are with organic frozen potatoes we got from Azure a year ago. I made them into freezer meals. There's egg and good things in there. So that will be breakfast tomorrow. Again, getting low on all the easy breezy lemon squeezy freezer meals, but we are definitely getting back to that too. And here's our book basket that I'm going to take outside. Got lots of variety of library books in there, and then I'm reading through Charlotte's Web again. We also just finished listening through Because of Winn-Dixie on audiobook. Another book I'd never read before by Gary Paulson called Harris and Me. We listened to that on audiobook. And I have read Hatchet and listened to Hatchet by Gary Paulson with my children for almost 3 decades now. So that was one of my very favorite books from middle school. So with my younger bunch right now, we're gonna also start listening to Hatchet again on audiobook. Alrighty, pulling things together. Going to be great. So we had a nice reading afternoon. Just about out of oil in my little container here. Have to refill that in a minute. Got the oven heating up. So I'm just gonna slice down these potatoes from our garden because hey, look, we're using that. I'm gonna put those to the bottom, and then I'm gonna put the chickens on top. Now the other day I had carrots, didn't have potatoes that I was aware of or that I went to get, so we did the chickens on top of carrots, so we'll do them on top of potatoes. So now we are going to go through and chop up these homegrown potatoes. I do run into several with hollow hearts, so if I was truly a potato farmer, or if I could be the hobby homestead gardener that I am in my heart, I would look into what causes hollow hearts in potatoes. These again are potatoes that we planted in 2023. Sometimes in Virginia, I know different gardening friends can do 2 different batches of potatoes. So per my usual, I only got in 1 batch. I got it planted early in the summer 2023 with hopes and dreams to harvest them by September or October-ish 2023, not knowing my life was going to blow up in August 2023. So all of those potatoes, as one of my YouTube viewers has told me, the earth will take it back. That's my little garden poetry. But she just reminded me the earth would take my potatoes back, and it did. And these are what little potatoes we have found so far that reseeded themselves that came back in 2024. Alrighty, so we asked a lot of these potatoes, but look, we grew potatoes, and I cut off a lot of green spots and a lot of bad spots, and lots of situations happening here. But these are our good potatoes. I got one more little spot I'll cut off of there. Yay! So that's good. Did something, right? Sprinkle some Redmond salt on those. Some thyme and some more olive oil on the top of these potatoes, and I'll do a little garlic powder, a lot of like what I'll put on the chicken. And when I was at John Henry General Store today, I picked up, I don't remember now, 25-pound, 50-pound bag, whatever. It was $19.99 of potatoes, along with the butternut squash and many other things. So I'm gonna add about 9 more potatoes. These won't have, you know, the, what was it called? The hollow hearts and all those fun adventures that my homegrown potatoes had, but these were grown locally. So I'm gonna rinse these, just slice them in half, add them to our nice big chicken pot here. The other night when I did the 2 chickens and the carrots, that seemed like that was one meal. There was
some chicken pieces scrounging around the next day, but then we cooked up the carcasses and what was left to do a huge batch of chicken broth. And with these chickens, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to do broth tomorrow or the next day. I will just throw the carcasses in the freezer bags and we'll get to those in the future. I do also want to bake this butternut squash tonight too. And I also sliced up an onion and put 2/4 in each of those chickens there. Now tomorrow was supposed to be my big Azure order and it got rescheduled for Friday, which is actually better for me with all my other appointments tomorrow. But we've got that coming as well. And I've got a 25-pound, again, I'm like, is it 25-pound or 50-pound? I've got a big bag of organic carrots coming with Azure. So next week's chicken dinners that we'll do, maybe we'll actually have potatoes and carrots for my folks in the same meal. That will be nice.
So I'm adding some more of those recent purchased John Henry big bulk potatoes and along with my homegrown potatoes. These were also locally grown in a nearby town. That's just helping fill up my Dutch oven for dinner.
Tonight, so here we go. Here's tonight's one pot dinner for 10. Yay! And then I'm going to roast this butternut squash. Just gonna throw it on some parchment paper. And it's going to bake for about an hour or so until I get back to it. Okay. See you in an hour, butternut squash. Okay, so I'm just going around doing some cooking up and some organizing. I have been wanting to get sourdough sandwich loaf bread going. We have been feeding the starter for several days. I am washing out my mixing bowl here. I'm going to make myself get that mixed so it can sit out on the counter and ferment until at some point tomorrow when we will actually bake it. Or worst case scenario, if we don't get to it the following day, at least the prep is done. I know that I will be glad when that prep is done. I've got a mystery bag of egg noodles that was hanging out up here. Many projects are spinning, but like I said, camping is a calling, so I am gearing up for that for the end of the week. Also, look at us, I'm proud of us. I went to go make yogurt like yesterday and we were out of milk and I knew I had my milk pickup today at John Henry. This is just gallon whole milk that I've been ordering from a local creamery and it comes into the John Henry General Store and then I pick it up. I'm just gonna get yogurt going in the Instant Pot. I'll have directions linked in the description below as well. It has been a while and I'm glad to get back to this. Buttered flavor organic coconut oil. I have some coconut oil. We need to soften it up a little more. Half a cup, put this halfway. And this recipe will make 2 loaves, and I'll link that below too. Okay, and this is where I get to doing big batches with everything. So I've got so many little cups and bowls and things out to make this happen. It just makes sense to run this a couple times, so we'll see. And then you know I get excited and then I get tired. Okay, so we got a coconut oil. We're gonna do a cup of our active starter, which I fed again earlier today. It's 2.5 cups of water.
Let me look. I think it was 2 teaspoons of salt. No, a tablespoon of salt. Okay. And then 2 tablespoons of honey or sugar. So we got honey right over here. And this recipe, each batch will make 2 loaves. So that's good. I have not used my stand mixer, I think, except for that sourdough bread baking I did in December. But it's really been over a year since I've really used this thing. Because when life blew up, I just haven't been in a bread making mood, right? Okay. I don't remember this not working last time I used it. So that's fun. So awesome. Okay. Alrighty. Well, this does put a damper on things, but we don't have to have a mixer. The only thing is, if I'm going to do this by hand, I am just going to go ahead and get another batch going too. Okay. Because we're just getting the new dryer going and getting caught up on laundry today, I am using, this is a little crocheted like heat pad. But that's okay. Alrighty, so let's do this thing. And got 1 batch. I'm going to try to do 2 more. Going to try to mix up 3 batches by hand. That would really be for 6 loaves. And if it goes wrong, you know, like I'm saying more and more, we're asking a lot of this bread. That's okay though. 2 more cups of starter. So now, 2 tablespoons of salt, 4 tablespoons of honey. Probably am putting the sourdough starter back in the fridge until next week, because I won't be able to feed it every day with things coming up. And I am sure that my repeat the second day t-shirt will show its wear after we're done hand mixing this bread. I don't know what in the world with a KitchenAid mixer. I've had that since the Forest House. We've gotten pretty decent use out of it. Just by these YouTube videos. It worked last time I used it, and I know that was December, and here we are in September. Just won't think about that life problem today.
Yes, a broken KitchenAid mixer. I mean, apparently it's broken. That's a whole thing. So I want to say my mom got me my KitchenAid mixer winter 2016-ish. So what is that, 9 years ago now or so. Maybe it's lived its life. You know, it's hard for me to process warranties and repairs and those kind of things. It's not my skill set, okay? Keeping up with things. I keep up with a lot. But obviously, these kitchen appliances that serve their purpose and then they're gone, there's only so much I can do with that. I love making big food messes in my kitchen, though. Just let me know, Cliff Notes. Give me KitchenAid Cliff Notes. 9 years. Is there like repair shops for this? It's probably beyond its warranty. Do I just go ahead and get a new one? Please just hold my hand, friends. You've watched me use this mixer for almost a decade. Tell me, what should we do about this KitchenAid failing in 2024, purchased in 2016? And so all these years, I've used either my bread machine, which I started using my bread machines probably 2010-ish. And then for my sourdough and such, of course, I've used my KitchenAid to mix it for me.
Now I'm just taking a break to check the temperature of my Greek yogurt, or my yogurt situation here. It needs to be 180 degrees, and it is. So now I'm gonna let it sit and come back down to about 110 degrees or so. And some people set it in an ice bath or other adventures. I have just always set it out of the Instant Pot for a while.
And so now we're back to my big batch bread experiment, and I'm hopeful at this point. Several of my folks loved watching me mix this, and they did come and they helped. They helped a lot, and it was so much fun. But this was quite the undertaking.
So the hand kneading continues. I have had many of my kiddos in here, and at one point I even had several of these little sections divided down, and I was having helpers with clean hands knead the sourdough. I can tell that the consistency is changing. This has been a big effort. All normal people do one batch at a time. Don't just jump into hand kneading 3 batches. That's ridiculous. But that's what I'm here for. So I have hope. And our 6 loaves of sourdough at the end of tomorrow or the next day, well, they're gonna tell us. But I definitely was not anywhere near doing a window pane test. And maybe in a few more minutes. I just had the timer go off for the chicken and the potatoes, but I figured it would probably need another 30 minutes. I haven't checked it yet. So we're marching on. I'm embarrassed because I know professional bakers and sourdough shop owners will watch my videos and comment on things, and here I am with my 3 batches. But you know what? I just want to make some sourdough sandwich loaf bread for my kids, and this could work out. It could be great. I could be onto something here. This could just be one more mess I've made on the internet. We're all so used to that, so we shall see. And I could not find my dough scraper before I started, so that's fun. It's just kind of, you know, it is life. Positive. Let's check on the chicken. Now I bet this butternut squash is long done. Yes, that's probably done. That's done a bit. Okay. Oh, it looks beautiful. Let me show you these chickens. I am proud of my chickens, friends. Oh yes, I am. I was just randomly stabbing potatoes, not really checking their temperature. I assume they're done because this looks so beautiful. But just wanted to make sure they were soft on the inside.
So delicious, I cannot wait to eat. So for the butternut squash, I did some coconut oil on both sides. I just sprinkled some cinnamon on this side, sprinkled a little salt on that side, whatever, any way you like it, and then that's our beautiful chicken and potatoes. So now we're gonna get our milk out for those who would like it and have dinner. Yay!
And now I'm back to my big bread project again. But let me tell you, I love some crispy baked chicken skins. That's just delicious. And I would like to eat some now.
Okay, so just picked up my Walmart haul, got some of this hickory smoked, no sugar uncured bacon. I think for myself and for whoever wants it, I'm going to cook some of this up and do some farm eggs. For lunch, I got a pretty big appointment this afternoon and I want to have lots of good protein. This does say to keep frozen until use. Looks like it's just the cold water defrost method. It says to let bacon stand in cold water for 10 to 15 minutes and then refrigerate after thawing, that's the word. So I'm gonna get this defrosting because I might thank myself. And then it looks like my yogurt ended, so we will take a look at that. That is looking nice, but I'm not able to strain it right now because again, I'm getting ready to swing back out. I might just have to put it in the refrigerator until later this afternoon when I get back, or I might be able to do it here soon, just not sure. Here's how our big batch sourdough is doing.
And now I am getting some bacon on the pan, and I am going to collect this bacon grease, which I'm very excited about because I have not had any bacon grease recently to cook with, and I love cooking with it.
Alrighty, so here's a little mini lunch prep, and I'm gonna check if I have a avocado. I'll have a few avocado slices with this too, and this is also for sharing. I know I've got one or two that are gonna have this as well.
Well, hello friends. So another day. Today's the day we leave for camping. And, excuse me, let's turn some lights on around here. Turn this big fan off. Okay, turn this light on. Anyway, so today's the day we leave for camping. I've had some appointments and things out this morning, phone calls, all the things, all the list of things that I'm trying to get done. And this afternoon will look like we're pulling things together for camping. And for now, what is this? Well, I ate an apple and a little bit of protein this morning on my way out to my first appointment. Lunchtime now, starving, so have the last of that butternut squash, and this is a huge bowl. I don't know that I'll eat all this, but I'm so hungry right now, I don't care. The last of the butternut squash, 2 eggs left from those eggs I did yesterday, and then that's the last little bit of the grass-fed beef roast from the other day, and I'm going to put some coconut oil on this and heat it all up. I also got into this delicious paleo protein last night. It was grass-fed, soy-free, grain-free, no artificial sweeteners. Let's see all the other things it's free of. Dairy-free, gluten-free, AIP-friendly, non-GMO, grass-fed, soy-free. So anyway, we're free of many things here. So I did try this last night. I had the scoop with sugar-free almond milk. So I might actually have some of that because, like I say, I'm hungry. Your order. That is super exciting. You've either seen it or you're going to see it. I'm like, in this universe, you probably already saw it, but today's the day I picked it up. So I need to go through and check off those items. And then I have a video I need to get published for today. Then I need to start thinking the camping thoughts. I think to keep it super simple, like we have our equipment. We're going to the same location and actually the same camping spot that we did last month, which is our super gentle entry into camping. I have a very simple plan. This is how I pull things off, right? Very simple plan that we're going to get there. We're gonna get camp set up. We'll do our campfire and we'll do hot dogs and s'mores for tonight. I don't know what I'm packing for my little food accommodations right now. I know my gluten-free folks in my family, I will need some gluten-free buns for them. Let's see how this is looking. I will still need to, I'm still going to need to do probably like a Walmart pickup order or even delivery order on little camping related odds and ends. I might do the same oatmeal cups again. I might just replay what we did last month. I wanted to have some new little camping recipes I wanted to try and have our Coleman stove ready and those kind of things. We'll see. We'll see what my processing does this afternoon, but we're doing it. And it's going to be a really gentle weekend of hiking and some lake fun, the campfires. And then we'll be back next week. So look at us, we're doing things. And one of the things that I am doing a pretty decent job of is, even though I handle a lot and I manage a lot, I'm not hurrying. I'm not hurrying. I'm taking my time, still getting things done. So yay us. Okay, and we got friends over playing. I thought that we had a little bit of chicken salad left from the other day. There's no chicken salad here, so tuna salad for the win, because that's the cans I have up here. I just had a posse of kids in, and I said, we got half a bushel of plums, half a bushel of apples, and 120 pounds of bananas, although now it might be 80 pounds because my kids have been going after those. But those were organic bananas I got for $9.99 a box from the John Henry General Store. Why do I love it? Okay, one of my timers going off. So they just took a bunch of fruit outside, but I'm gonna make them some tuna salad and then make it a little better by toasting the bread. What kind of mom am I?
So now all about getting my cans ready, getting the cans open the old-fashioned way with a can opener that's actually working for a minute. And I am draining out the tuna liquid, putting it in a metal bowl, and then just putting some various little mayonnaise bits I have to do some easy breezy tuna salad. The kids and their friends were thrilled. And I'm also working on some of that paleo shake there that's supposedly free of everything, and just trying different things with my body, seeing what's working. That is a dairy-free powder, and I did use sugar-free almond milk with it. So I am working things out with my body and my inflammation, and definitely not through my elimination diet, but I have days where I make concessions, like have my paleo shake with my sugar-free almond milk, or have a little butternut squash, or have a little something to go along with the other things that I can eat now, just making sure to continue to stay gluten-free and dairy-free in the process and working through it. So I got a little platter down, and I'm going to put their tuna salad sandwiches on the platter and also send out a bunch of fruit.
And I got kids running the front yard, tractor going by in the back field. I'm just gonna make them a platter with, I think I'm doing 6 sandwiches now. And then if they want more, hey look, we meal prepped. We have tuna salad made in bulk, and they can come in here and make their own. I need to run to Walmart, and I just need to go in the old-fashioned way and get some odds and ends for camping now. Little food things. Again, like tonight. Repeat the list with me. I'm just going to do hot dogs and s'mores. I do hope, would like to sit down for like 30 minutes and plan out the rest sensibly. But it may not be too sensibly, and I again just remind myself, camping is the goal. Okay, that's just kind of dark on either side there. That'll just be that. Okay.
And it's like, hey, lunch, half a bushel of plums, come to our house. You know where the fruit and the slightly over toasted tuna salad sandwiches will be. But if the plums aren't enough, there's also half a bushel of apples, and then again, all those bananas.
Thank you so much, friends, for watching all of these meals and kitchen projects we did this week. Look at us. We completed homemade yogurt. We at least got the equivalent of 6 loaves of sourdough sandwich bread doing its next ferment in the refrigerator, even with one KitchenAid mixer tied behind our back, right? The new dishwashers are ordered. The new dryer was delivered. I mean, large family life without a dryer for a week. Yeah, no thank you. We made several meals with locally farm-raised, grass-fed, pasture-raised, all those good things, meat, farm-raised eggs. You know, life has its difficulties, but we are making little strides forward when we can. And we also order emergency Domino's pizza once in a while when we need to. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I appreciate you. I will chat with you in the comments below, and I'll see you real soon with another brand new video. Bye-bye.
Thank you to Hungry Root for sponsoring today's video. The first 100 people to use my code Jamerrill40 will get 40% off their first grocery order with Hungry Root. Use the link in the description below or scan the QR code and use code Jamerrill40 to get 40% off.